heart of Anthem is the concept of our world, my story. The unique combination of a dynamic, ever-changing world and a powerful personal story. In our world, you band together with friends for epic adventures across a vast, shared landscape teeming with danger. The world narrative advances for your whole team. Together, you'll confront countless enemies. Those who threaten to take control of the Anthem, as well as ancient beasts. And you'll get further into our world by taking on explosive missions offered by agents who know.
Is somebody gonna tell her, or am I gonna have to tell her? Because if I tell her, I'm gonna hurt her feelings. And you don't want me to tell her. Wow. Just wow, BioWare. How could this have Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Well, I don't usually do this, but let's run through the entire plot real quick. This is a special case. Freelancers go on mission to the Heart of Rage, freelancers fail. The people of Fort Tarsus lose hope in the freelancers. Some time later? They never say, but the player character, PC for short, and Owen, the player's friend, get a contract from... what's her name? What is it? Tarson? Taste Bud? Tacoma? What? The two realize the task is bigger than they thought. The Dominion are back? Why should I care? They shove a flashback in right here to kind of explain why I should care. But I still don't care. They need the help of the PC's old allies, Faye and Halleck. There's a princess? She only eats, like, monster meat and... Hey, bro, who f***ing wrote this? So now they gotta find the Javelin of General Tarsus. First they find her signet. Second, they enter the Fortress of Dawn to get the actual Javelin. Also, I skipped it, but there's, like, a really long, like... roadblock quest that like slows the entire story down. It's dumb. If you played the game, you know what I'm talking about, and it's dumb. But shock! Horror! Owen betrays the PC, takes the Javelin of Dawn, and plans to offer it to the Dominion in exchange for the guaranteed safety of Fort Tarsus. Wait, what? Somehow, during all this madness, Faye scanned the Javelin of Dawn and found out that the JOD has a unique shield. The Shield of... the naming conventions in this game are f***ing trash. This shield should allow the PC to enter the Heart of Rage. The copy of the Shield of Dawn fails. Taste Bud reveals that Faye was the one who reached out to her for help. Halleck gets butthurt because Faye had no faith in him. Halleck flies to the Fortress of Dawn to see if he can figure out how the shield works. Owen decides to help out after the Dominion f***ed up his eyes because his shield failed too. Owen gives the PC a component thing and flies away. The shield works now. Everyone goes to the Heart of Rage. The monitor... Holy shit, I went through most of the game's plot without mentioning the main villain. Huh. Wonder what that's all about. Anyway, the monitor turns into this big stone elder god... Oh my god, someone help this game, please. Faye and Halleck kill Steel. Somehow, Faye knows how to deactivate the cenotaph and shuts it down. And then the game has the nerve, the unmitigated gall to tease a sequel with this fake tooth bastard grinning at me with this fake ass, punk ass, plastic f***ing... I have never experienced such a giant middle finger in my entire life. Maybe I spoke too soon. So what am I supposed to take away from this? What is this story about? Why should I care about anything or anyone in this playable car accident? What even is an ergoth, and why should I give a shit? There is so much information not explained to the player. Like, what exactly is the relationship between Cypher and Freelancer? Is this Earth? Where are we? What is Corvus? Why is Tastilda affiliated with this Corvus faction and we've never been formally introduced? Why do ciphers have this strange connection to the Anthem? Why exactly are the regulators and outlaws vilified by the authorities of Fort Tarsus? What does the Dominion want? What even are the Scars and what is their role in this world? Even the things they do explain to you in-game, there are massive holes in logic that make the entire poorly constructed house of cards fall down. The world building in this game is absolutely screwed. Why exactly does Fort Tarsus not have a government-funded army? Yeah, they have the Sentinels, but they're treated more like police, staying within the walls of Fort Tarsus. And even then, this is not always the case, as you can find Sentinels outside of the fort very frequently. Wouldn't it be smart to have a reliable force, keyword reliable, that could deal with threats both domestic and foreign at a moment's notice? Even then, the Sentinels objectively suck at their jobs. They constantly are getting their asses handed to them by cannon fodder and need to be saved by the Freelancers. Speaking of which, if the Freelancer faction is a descendant faction of the Lancers of Dawn... These names are killing me, man. Why aren't the Freelancers government funded if there's so much history and reverence behind them? But I know what some people are gonna say. You can find the answers in the Cortex. I don't give a fuck. It is not in the actual story of the game, and that is unacceptable. It's like if you bought a can of soda. The ingredients state that it has this, that, and the other. But you go online and find out there's actually alligator blood in it. Not acceptable, right? Should be on the thing you bought, right? Alright, that's what I thought. So what about the actual story in the game? Guess who's back? Back again. And then's back. Make it end. This game was made in a year, so I'm not really surprised. Let's talk about the elephant in the room first. Owen. The only interesting moment in the story is rife with issues in terms of character. It honestly could have worked with the given setup, but it reaches an illogical extreme when he decides, I go work with bad guy now. You think the Dominion are to be trusted after you saw this happen?
A pity for you. Negotiations have concluded.
You bastard!
Oh, well, now this is awkward.
Like his arc is just, you didn't give me what I want out of concern for my safety. I'm joining Hitler. Also within this scene lies another issue. Ciphers are portrayed as being linked to Freelancers through their javelins. When Owen locks up the PC's javelin, he also made it so Faye was stuck in the amplifying chair. The story makes it a point that communication has been cut off from Faye and Halleck because of Owen's sabotage.
General Tarsus. Something's wrong here. What?
Faye, Halleck, I can barely hear you. Faye, you seeing this? Faye, are you there? Faye can't hear you. Owen!
But Faye somehow scanned the Javelin of Dawn while in a cipher purgatory and the PC being in stasis lock. Are you seeing a pattern here yet? Ciphers never display this type of power throughout the rest of the game. It's blatantly clear that the writers wrote themselves... The hell was that? Huh. Anyways, it's blatantly clear that the writers wrote themselves into a corner and needed a way to get out. The plot would have easily been halted in place, full stop, if they hadn't done this. So on to the villain's plan. The Monitor wants to tap into the Cenotaph, this Shaper relic thing. I didn't explain what the Shapers are. Shapers are basically God. This Shaper relic thing and become one with the Anthem. Mind you, he and the bald guy tried to do the exact same thing at the Battle of Freemark, the very battle that created the Heart of Rage. The Monitor makes no real attempt to change how he accesses the Cenotaph. It is a massive assumption that the Monitor wouldn't have been vaporized by accessing the Cenotaph like the bald guy did. The same plug is jacked into it. He has the same javelin. He doesn't have the shield of... Wait a minute. How the fuck did he even make it into the Heart of Rage if you need the Shield of Dawn to get in? How the fuck did any of the freelancers at the beginning of the game get in without the Shield of Dawn? This game is an absolute goddamn fucking... And when he turns into that Elder God Dark Souls boss ripoff, shouldn't he technically be a big naked stone boy? He gets sucked clean out of his javelin, so his boss form looks like his javelin? The f*** this game. How exactly does Faye know how to shut down the cenotaph? There's like one throwaway line that sort of thinly explains it.
I can communicate with the monitor. His mind is open to me.
Learn whatever you can. Never seen anything like this.
But that's another massive assumption that the monitor would even know how to shut down the cenotaph. What if he didn't know? What if he was wrong? Ugh, the writers of this game couldn't possibly be the same writers of the Mass Effect trilogy, let alone Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, we'll save you for another day, Andromeda. Sleep tight, you poor, ugly beast. For now. I didn't originally have notes for this part, but it kept coming up while I was playing this chore. The writing is awful. And I don't mean the story I mean the story writing is garbage, but I mean the character dialogue. What the characters are actually saying. All the characters feel the same. They're all in some stupid race to see who can say the wittiest thing the fastest. It all feels so forced and unnatural.
R6 on ER6. Get it? R6? Yours?
I don't find missing
It
people.
was 10 years ago. She's dead now.
I don't find missing corpses either.
That's...
Okay, last one. Here goes. Careful. Anything's possible. I know. You know, I heard a relic made a guy vanish into thin air once. No idea where he went. Which isn't as lucky as the freelancer whose guts were turned inside out. How's that lucky? At least he died and got it over with.
These lines tell us nothing about these characters, and their comedic value is diminished because all of the characters talk this way, save for the monitor.
Freelancer. Still alive, huh? I was afraid you weren't coming.
Ah, shit. Not to mention, there's a scene that honestly has no place in this game purely for the fact that it makes no sense.
Halleck.
How long has he been doing this?
Daily at first, then once a month. It's been half a year since his last try.
That long? It isn't the javelin, is it?
No! Sometimes he can almost control it. Sometimes, nothing at all. It's been a hard wait.
A hard wait for what?
23.
What?
That's how many freelancers went into the Heart of Rage at final time. 20 lancers and 3 ciphers who were left catatonic by the Anthem. No one else wanted to try again after that. Not that I blame them. No one but me and Halleck. He used to be the best. You were there. You were there. You remember. I remember. Every single thing we lost. I heard it. For just one moment in the storm, I heard the anthem. For one moment, I understood everything. Now, every moment of every day since, I've heard whispers calling me back, pulling on me like a thread unraveling.
Faye.
I'm glad you're here. I'll leave you with him.
You don't deserve to have a scene like that, you stupid, vapid, lifeless product. You don't even get the name of a story. This was clearly a product made to make money. There was no effort put into this. This scene means nothing and makes no sense without the legwork and effort needed to show the audience why any of what she just spouted actually matters. I've seen this kind of dialogue before. I have written this kind of dialogue before. It's quite simple, really. It's a first draft. Here's my perspective. Don't take this as any form of authority. This is just my advice. From a developmental standpoint, in the first draft I try to put some kind of effort in when I want comedic lines and moments, but I know that I will likely need a bit of reworking to make the scene have a place in the story by adding to the experience, being true to the characters, and being genuinely funny and natural. They're essentially placeholders. Now, the Monitor. Jesus, this guy. I've seen MCU villains from Phase 2 with more presence and intrigue than this loser. I could make a whole video on the mechanics of writing a villain, but we'll keep this brief. Being a villain is more than just being a cool looking character with an intimidating voice. It's more about presence, integrity, and respect. What do I mean by that? Time to break this down too, since it takes longer to fix a massive mistake than it does to create one. Presence. Is the villain a force you feel when he enters the room? Do his minions curl in fear as he enters? Integrity. What is the villain fighting for? Why is he fighting? Is his motive consistent throughout the story? Respect. Does your hero respect the villain and take him seriously? Or is your villain a joke? Some recent good examples include Thanos, the Joker, and one of my personal favorites, the Elusive Man. Look, no, I'm not adding Killmonger to that list. He's not very well written. I know, I like him too. I like him, but he's not well written. We'll talk about it some other day, man. Please, I'm sorry, just don't kill me. Bruh, please. The one right move was making the Monitor partake in the Battle of Freemark that created the Heart of Rage, but the answer is only partially right. So there was something I mentioned earlier. Something foreboding. Something I highlighted. Writing yourself in a corner. What does writing yourself in a corner mean? It means you've moved the plot into an irreversible situation where the only way to get out of it is through a contrivance, a convenience, or just by breaking the rules you've already established. If you've written yourself into a corner, it's abundantly clear you didn't outline this story and think this through very well. I would advise that you reevaluate your story if this happens. In less elegant words, you're fucked. Start over. Like I've said several times up to this point, writing isn't as hard as you think it is. It's all about staying consistent and playing by your own rules. If you have a sandbox of rules and play by them, you'll be fine. Here's where things get interesting. This is only part 1. The only way to fix this mess of a story is to completely rewrite and restructure the game's story. Dare I say, a reconstruction is in order.